we doing, guys? Good afternoon and welcome. Before I get started here, Ash, I understand. Go ahead and just make sure the baby gets all bundled up and she gets plenty of liquid. Poor kid. My granddaughter, pretty darn sick. She's got the upchucks. Oh, it's miserable. That's the part of parenting they never warn you about, right? Never warn you about. So yeah, get out of here if you have to, Ash. Not a problem at all. I love you guys both. And like I said, give the baby a kiss for Grandpa. Welcome, guys. Glad you can make it. My name is Sean in Alaska. For you, those of you who have not been here before, or those of you who just hang out in the chat or on the stream and don't really chat or say hello or anything like that, welcome. Glad you can make it today. Basically, an hour of live chat with me. If you got any questions, feel free to ask them. Any comments, feel free to state them. Doesn't make any difference to me. We stay away from, the religion, the politics, that kind of stuff. Keep it clean. Keep it, child rated so that you can watch this with your families. Basically, just a fun time. If you got a question for me, I try to answer everything in order. And if I have missed it and you see I have skipped past it and I've answered a couple of questions below, ask it again. And do me a favor, if you can, put your questions in caps. I do try to catch all of them, but if I miss it and you put it in caps, I won't miss it. And if I have answered it, I'll just skip over it again. It's not a big deal. I don't care if you ask it 3 or 4 times, but give me some time to get to it. With that said, let's jump back up to the top. And the first person I saw in here today was JD from SC. JD, my friend, welcome. Glad you could make it. Hope you and Rhonda are doing fantastic out there. Leslie Lindsay, glad you could make it as well. Charles and Ann Lynn from the Philippines, glad you could make it, guys. The pictures you sent me last week of the progress of the house over there, just awesome, man. I love to see that kind of stuff. So cool. Ward, good to see you, my friend. And Ward was saying that it got down to 18 degrees here. JD, that was for you. So, but actually, when I went into town today to do laundry, because Sunday is my laundry day and I go into town, and I almost hit a moose. That'll be in next week's video. It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It was the coldest that it got between here and town. It was chilly this morning. It was very chilly this morning. Right now, it's a balmy 40 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll probably get up to about 45, and it is crystal clear in Alaska. My solar panel and I haven't seen it happen for an extended period of time since I did it. So I have, for those who don't know, I have one single solar panel. It's a 180-watt panel, and it's connected to my one single deep cycle marine battery that I use to power all my lighting inside here. And obviously, I don't use as much lighting this time of year, but it is floating right now. It's completely topped off and charged that battery. Very, very cool. Very excited about that. Scrolling on through here. Charles has a question here. What do I think of the last pics I sent you? I answered that. All right. You ordered the roof on Sunday. Very cool. Floor might be poured this week, even if the rain. Nice. You guys get rain there all the time in the Philippines. He made a comment to me the other day in another chat that we're in, and or I don't know, it might have been in a message or something, but he said, yeah, we're supposed to get some rain. And I thought to myself, wouldn't the news from the Philippines say that we're supposed to have dry weather? Because I think you guys get rain, man, tons of it all year long. Leslie Lindsay had 3 inches of snow last night. Yeah, so Ward, with a picture on here, you can't post anything to this, but if you want to send a picture to me, I can a lot of times just share out the screen with the picture on it. But I can't do it right now because I'm in the middle of a live stream and I'm not that good at it yet. So you know what I would send a pic of? Oh, yeah, the beer. Ward and I have this battle going on where if I get to the brewery and he's not there, I send him a picture of my beer with that famous one-handed, one-fingered wave. And today he got me back because he went to the brewery today and sent me a picture. And I was like, Marcus, glad you could make it, my friend. Sunshine, good to see you. Are you still in Idaho or are you back up here yet? If not, when are you headed back up this way? Because it's getting beautiful. It's getting pretty up here. I saw 51 degrees in the forecast. It's about a week and a half away, but I saw the first 5 forecast and I was excited, very excited. Built on the Rock Homestead, glad you could join us. Alaska's last frontier cabin, awesome to have you here as well. Rich, you made it. Good to see you, my friend. Arthur Fiala, glad you could make it as well. Let me pull Rich back up here again. So last week we were talking about coffee, and Rich said he roasted some coffee for me and he wanted to send it. And I didn't. I thought to myself, well, maybe you'll contact me. I don't know. So this is how knuckleheaded I am. I have 2 email accounts. One is my personal email and one is for the YouTube channel. So I check them all. I have it set up so that when I get an email in the YouTube channel one, it goes to my personal one, so I don't have to keep checking them all. But yesterday, I'm in there checking it and cleaning it out. yesterday or day before, Rich, when we were talking. I think it might have been yesterday. And I go, how do I have 90-something things in my spam? So I click on it and open it up, and there's an email from Rich. So if you email me, and I explained it to him and he understood, if you email me and I do not get right back to you, know that in the next couple of days I will. It might have gone to spam, and I don't check that every day. So, yeah, Rich, sorry about that, man, but glad we got everything ironed out. Arthur, fantastic, doing fantastic. I love the intro, too. The intro's fun. I might change it up a bit because I've got a couple of things I can start adding to it. And that was the goal. When I put the whole thing together, it became, thanks to Jay and Jen's suggestion, it became the channel intro for Sean in Alaska. But I like the fact that I can keep it right around 30 seconds or so. And then if anybody sees a commercial when they're coming in, they won't miss the start of the live streams, because one of the frustrating things to me is when I join a live and after I skip through the commercials, because I'll let them run for about 30 seconds, just so that the creator gets credit for it. But after I finally get into the live chat, they're like in the middle of a conversation and I don't know where they're at. I'm like, I hate that. It drives me nuts. That's also why I say hello to everybody here. Apartment Prepper, glad you could make it. Awesome to see you. Barefoot in Alaska, good to see you as well. Glad you could make it. From the Matsu, very, very cool. Carol L., glad you could join us this afternoon. Miss Karen DeGuiter, glad you could join us, Karen. Good to have you here. 38 degrees in Anchorage right now, so we are warmer down here than Anchorage is. And generally speaking, where I am, will generally get a little bit warmer than Soldotna and Kenai. Anchorage is right there on the edge of the water, so they'll stay usually pretty moderate. As you get further inland, though, it can get pretty darn warm in the summer. Oh, nice. Mailing the package tomorrow. Got one more thing to add. Coffee, fresh coffee. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Scotty, my friend, how you doing? Scotty just put out a couple of quick videos. I think it was last weekend I was watching them. Like 3, right, Scotty? Correct me and let everybody in the chat know. On 3 different styles of hamburger. One of them was a prime rib burger where he ground it. He took, not prime rib, ribeye. He took ribeye steaks, trimmed them, and ground it and turned them into hamburger. In the video, it was very, very cool. But yeah, Scotty, definitely share your channel out so that folks can go check it out. But he now that he's in his new place, he's been playing around quite a bit with videos. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch what Scotty does there. Dave at Twilight Life Cabin, awesome to see you, my friend David. Glad you could make it. Listening while driving. I do that so much. I'll listen to live chats while I'm driving, and then if it gets like really super interesting, there's a lot of stuff going on, I'll pull over and I'll watch it on the phone. It's very cool. Jim at Woolly Rhino Adventures. Anytime after midnight is fair game for departure. Very cool. He'll be here soon. He'll be up in Alaska very soon. Where was I at here? There we go. Yeah. She got sick yesterday, and she's got a little blow-up unicorn pool, and finally her mom just put her in that plastic blow-up unicorn pool and put blankets on her and stuff as her bed. Man, being a parent and having your kids go through that, you feel helpless, and at the same time, you're like, oh, they're miserable. They're miserable, right? Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to have you here today. Glad you could join. Eastern Oregon, 46 degrees, but the wind chill drops us to 39. Yeah, we don't have any wind today at all, which was nice. No wind here at all, which is very, very cool. Richard Young, glad you could make it. Yeah, right, Ward? Seems like we just talked on the phone, because we did, you knucklehead. When are you going to see chicken on the grill? Probably in the next couple of weeks, I imagine. I grill chicken all the time, Scotty. Whenever the chickens start to lay fewer eggs, I walk out and I show them that big old package of thighs I get from Safeway, and I go, guys, and then I grill them right next to them. They don't care. Chickens are cannibals. They'll eat anything. Firefly Farm. Glad you could make it. Good to see you, Lori. Definitely. This is the greatest idea I've seen so far during this live chat. If you guys hit the thumbs up, it tells YouTube, hey, this is interesting. People think it's interesting. Let's suggest this to other people. It does nothing but help the channel. Matter of fact, if you hit the thumbs down, I think it does the same thing. It says, hey, there's a lot of interaction here. So either way you want. Right? Fat man, good to see you, my friend. It's been a while, huh? I do have a baby face. I do have, and if for anybody who can't notice yet, I'm growing the little, I guess the Wyatt Earp, we'll call it. But I can't do the full beard anymore because it gets way too itchy and way too warm this time of year and going through the summer. But I can play around with this a little bit, and I might might do some longer chops, or I might do the handlebar mustache. We'll see what goes on. Roger down under from Australia. Roger Baker, glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here, my friend. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue in Wisconsin. It was 24 this morning. It's 52 degrees now. Rockin' Montana. Glad to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it here today. Wow, a lot of people yelling for thumbs up. I love it. It was snowing at 28 this morning in Idaho. We had sunshine yesterday. We got sunshine today in the forecast for the whole week there. Sunshine is sunshine. So I don't know when you're coming home, but you're missing good weather. Look who's here. Awesome. Awesome, folks. Scotty, you got to share this channel out. This is Countryside Acres Off Grid. Aaron and Anissa and their children, an incredible family, bought a farm. I started watching them when they were in, I think, Saskatchewan, and I was turned on to them by MBF Off Grid. They bought a farm and built a house by hand. He had family and friends come over and help him put that thing up. And you want to talk about farming and living off grid? These guys right here, and awesome, awesome people. Glad you could make it. Awesome to see you. Eves, welcome, my friend. Good you could join us. Right? Yeah, Rich, it's all good now. We finally got all those things figured out with the email. Joe Montano, my friend. Good to see you. Lurking in the background. Very cool. Kathy from North Star Prepstetter, another great, great channel. Does live on Mondays at 3 p.m. And right now she's going through a whole series of garden topics. I don't know what your topic is for this Monday, Kathy, but let everybody know. I couldn't be on last Monday because I was on North Shore Preparedness, Sean's live chat with him, doing like a one-on-one kind of conversation interview, which is why I didn't join you last week. But Kathy always has great stuff. Let us know what your live chat's going to be about tomorrow. I'm sure you're doing something gardening-wise. Love to find out. I will be there, definitely. Wendy Benjamin, glad you can make it. What is a hamburger? Is it ground ham? No, it's ground steak. I have been known to take a hamburger and layer it with ham on top of it and then cheese on top of that. And that is yummy. That is very good. Lee Bertrand. Oh, it's Jim. Watching from your mom's computer. Very cool. Say hi to your mom for me. Diane Polk from sunny Florida. Hello and welcome. Cool Off Grid just went up for sale on Funny River. I don't know what you're talking about there, Ward. Jerry, Canadian, glad you can make it. Yep, the goatee. There we go. There we go. There he is. And there he is right there. My buddy Sean in Canada, North Shore Preparedness. I was with Sean live last Monday for anybody who didn't catch it. And if you want to watch some deeper questions about what I'm doing, Sean has some great questions. Ton of fun. And I think he's going to start interviewing people on his lives on Mondays going forward. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. Elizabeth Rojas, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. Soul Patch, that's what we call it, Sean. Exactly, Soul Patch. Rainy and 40 out in New York. Nancy Church, glad you could make it. Awesome. From St. Louis, very cool. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, I know you guys are almost at 10,000 subscribers. That is so awesome. That is so cool. When I saw you guys blow up, I just went, finally. I'm telling you, great, great channel. Wonderful family content. Something you could watch with your kids. You could sit down on a Sunday evening after church and watch these folks with your kids and never worry about a thing. They raise livestock. They raise food for slaughter. They process, or they take it in to have it processed. They sell beef. They sell pork. They have chickens. They are fearless. Their children are extremely wonderful kids, hard workers. Great channel if you're looking for something that is very family friendly, or if you just want to learn something yourself, because they're pretty awesome. Andrea, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. Very cool. Okay, cool. So Kathy's topic tomorrow will probably be talking about how to water and when. So if you're a gardener, if you're a new gardener, if you're an experienced gardener, jump in, check it out, because she's always got great information, and she's pretty spot on with most of her gardening tips. Pretty darn spot on. I've learned a ton just watching Kathy. The onions that I'm planning on planting this year, I ordered because Kathy told me which onions we actually needed to grow up here. Scrolling up, I skip through a lot of folks that are chatting. If you guys are chatting amongst yourself on the side, I might jump in, but generally you guys have your conversations handled, so I'll skip through those. Boundaries or Boundless Living with Brent and Taylor. Nice. Okay, so this is very cool, you guys. And somebody, if you could share their link out for their YouTube channel. I actually found them on TikTok. So I don't know if you guys use TikTok, but I use TikTok for different stuff than I generally put here on Sean in Alaska's YouTube page, because you don't do long videos over there. And I was following a couple of their little TikTok things came up on my TikTok stream, and I was watching it and left a comment, and they said, we just followed you. We follow you over on YouTube. And I realized they had a YouTube channel and followed them. They just moved into an off-grid place from out of state. Guys, tell us where you're from, to which state that you moved here from. That's a log cabin that basically, and it's a modern log cabin, but they just had a well put in. They don't really have electricity. They're doing everything solar. And when her husband was trying to move his truck, it literally, in one of their videos, froze to the ground. He couldn't get it, broke free. It was a trip. So check them out. But awesome, guys. Good to have you here. Scrolling. Our lake opened up today, except there's ice in the front of the dock and bay. Yep. Oh, Scotty, hamburger and ham. I see a new video. Do it, dude. Give me credit for it. Look on the left when I'm going to town. Okay, I will. Definitely. Before the dump? Okay. So that's Ward and Sean conversation right there. I'm almost getting caught up. So JD wants to know, how is the yard looking still covered? So last Monday, as you saw in Friday's video, I got hammered with 4.5 inches of snow here again. And I'm going to open this week's next video with the next day after that. But suffice it to say that we're getting a huge amount of melt going on right now. I still have a lot of snow in the yard. I'm still weeks away from being able to do anything here. But I've been drawing, and I've been working on plans. I've been putting together lumber lists, and I've been finalizing how many windows I'm going to have, and where the doors are going to be and the windows are going to be, and staircase, and getting some general ideas for plumbing and that kind of stuff. So it's productive time right now. But yeah, we're still going to be a bit away from being able to do anything. You can't rush Mother Nature, I guess, right? Definitely. Montana Homestead, awesome to see you. Glad you can join us today. Stacy at Cabin Dweller. I know, right? Glad I missed the moose. I haven't seen your comment on that, but it'll be in next week's video as well, because I start talking about it, and then I'll just pull it up and show it to you. But last Sunday when I went to work, on my drive, to give you an idea how many moose we have out here, on my drive into town, I counted 5 moose. And then today, on my drive into town, I counted 4 moose. Now, that's just what's right there on the road. There are a ton of moose in the area that I live in. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how many moose we have here. Karen asks how the ladies are. They're doing fantastic. They're all outside playing today. Went in, checked their food, gave them fresh water because it was frozen. And they were all outside. They wanted nothing to do with me. But the snow inside the chicken run area is actually melting pretty fast because I couldn't shovel it or do it. So it's all just natural fill. And I think that's part of the reason why I have an issue with the amount of snow that I have still on the ground, is because I was blowing all that snow, and I should have just kept the whole area clean. But they're doing fantastic. They're doing great. I hung out with them inside the run for a couple of minutes, and then when they started pecking my legs to death because they wanted me to give them a treat, I said, I'm out of there. But they're doing great, laying lots of eggs. I know, right? It's crazy. It seems like this is really a long winter that, just keeps saying, it's like an angry, what did I see? I saw a meme on it. It's like an angry woman, comes into the room and says, hey, yeah, and then walks out, and you think, okay, spring's here. And she says, and for another thing. Oh, from Washington State. Okay, I thought that's where you guys were from. I didn't want to state that. So very cool. You're going to love it up here, man. It's just so awesome. It's so incredible. And the people are so incredibly nice up here, especially where you guys are, because nobody really wants to live there that doesn't live there. I mean, if you don't want to live in the area you're at, you get out of there. Same with me. So everybody who lives out here is super friendly. It's fantastic. You're going to enjoy the heck out of it. No planting there until after Mother's Day, and no planting here really until June. think June 13th is right around June. That first week of June is when they say you should really be planting here. I might try and rush the potatoes, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, no sense in rushing it. That doesn't mean you can't do your starts, though, right? You can still get your starts going inside. Peanut Trucker, glad you could make it, my friend. Not much, man. It's just a wonderful, beautiful day here in Alaska, hanging out with you guys, right? Very cool. So many mooses, Mises. Moose is the plural of moose. Caribbean House, glad to see you. Glad you could jump in here. I am totally the crazy chicken man. I don't know about that. I did order 12 more chickens though, but mine are paying for themselves. Man, it's just so cool. There's a couple of homesteading sites that I'm part of on Facebook as well. And somebody was saying, well, how much your chicken's going to cost me? And I said, once they start laying eggs, nothing. They'll actually pay you. So mine buy their own feed, and they're putting more money in the envelope every single week. And I'll have a total for you at the end of the year for how much they generated based on, how much it cost me for feed and all of that stuff. So we'll add all those numbers up. But it's a great thing to have. Yesterday morning, I had fresh eggs. I mean, fresh eggs for breakfast. I love it. It's beautiful. Been cooking on the wood stove, trying to figure out this Alaska thing. Hey, if you figure out this Alaska thing, you let the rest of us know, okay? Because Alaska, if you're confused about it at all, wait 5 minutes. It'll change. Nice. YouTube is removing your question in all caps, huh? Huh. Okay, we just ask the question in regulars then. I'll do that too. I'll ask questions in caps, but you never know with the live chat if they're going to change how they do things. So just ask it again. Ask it 4 times if you have to. That's fine with me. I don't mind. Apartment prepper. I lived in Alaska for a while, about 20 years ago. You'd love to go back. It's incredible. I lived in Alaska originally in 1998 to 2001, and I knew when I left that I was coming back here. I knew that I had to be back here. Right? Exactly, Kathy. I'm actually starting the onion seeds after the live is over. I'm going to fire up the barbecue. I'm going to get the charcoal going on that, and then I'm going to be planting. I picked these up. Let me show you. I've never used, I've always used these kind of little greenhouse kits here, but I picked up a hex kit, Ferry Morse, do it this way, this Ferry Morse hex kit, and then I've got some organic seed starter that I'm going to use, and the first thing I'm going to get started will be onions, and yeah, they take a while to get ready. It's 110 days before you harvest them. We'll see what I get out of them. I've never grown onions here before, so we'll see what happens. And I've seen a couple of their videos that they put out already, and you'll like them. They're fun. They're fun. Neat people. I know, right? Oklahoma and Texas are dry. Dry, it's crazy. And Ward will be there with me when you guys do. Charles. Sean, will we be sharing the price of materials and house build expenses when you start on your build? Our metal prices keep going up and the piping for yes. I don't know if you guys, I've mentioned him before. I don't know if you guys watch a channel called Woodness Goodness. One of the things that I really like about the small cabin build that he's doing right now, cabin/office, is that at every interval where he breaks off and he completes a section of it, like when he did the beams, the floor joists, the subfloor, and he got that all done. He had a price tag for that, and then every section he adds it up. So that's kind of what I think I'll be doing. But there will be, by fall, there will be a 100% video dedicated to how much everything cost me for the entire project. So yes, going to do that for sure. Rich is saying, Sean, Alaska hybrid seeds are really good for one crop, and seeds cannot be safe for the next year's crop. Yes and no, Rich. So the deal with hybrid seeds is a hybrid plant is a blending of 2 plants. And you can, in fact, save hybrid seeds, but you don't know which plant you're saving from the hybrid. So if it was let's take tomatoes, for example. If you've got a hybrid tomato plant that came from tomato A and tomato B, from what I understand, and you save the seeds from the hybrid, you don't know if you're going to get tomato plant A or tomato plant B. You're not going to get the hybrid plant out of it. I try to stay away from hybrid everything. I just want, generally speaking, I go for the traditional non-hybrid seeds. And I really won't even buy hybrid plants if I'm going to be buying plants to begin with. There's just too many other options, too many other opportunities to do that with. What else we got going here? Henry Leslie, North Shore Bounce there. What are your tips on growing a YouTube following? Also, does the sun hit different here? Feels a lot warmer when the sun's out here. Okay, so I'll answer the second part first. Because the sun, because of how north you are, the sun stays at a different angle than it does when you're down south. So you will feel the radiation and the heat from that sun much more in Alaska than you'll feel it even in Washington State or even in California. And it stays there longer. So right now, roughly our days are running about, well, from sunrise to sunset on any weather app, it'll tell you that we're running at 14 hours of daylight per day right now. But in reality, we're closer to 15, 16 hours because the sun comes up. It's light enough to see an hour before sunrise, and it's still light enough to see an hour after dark. So those days will just continue to get longer. And you'll get to a point where you'll probably have 20 hours of daylight up there. And that's why it feels so intense. It's the angle that the sun is coming through, I guess, the atmosphere. You could feel a lot more heat. And it's the amount of time that it spends up there. Now, on the YouTube channel, be yourselves. Be yourselves, be who you are, enjoy what you're doing, and I think people will follow you and people will join you. A great example is, I haven't had this huge growth that I thought I would have when I first started the channel. I had all these dreams of being like this 1 million subscriber thing. And I realized that, you know what? I don't care. It's a ton of fun just hanging out with everybody. It's a ton of fun to release a video, to watch how that video does, to read the comments from the people, and to do like this when you're doing a live chat, to get the questions like you just gave me right there. It's just, to me, it's more about sharing it and the awesomeness of it. And if it grows, it grows. You have multiple goals that you want to hit, and everybody obviously wants to get to that point where they're monetized. And once that happened for me, there's no other goals that I'm looking at right now other than just making more videos and having more fun with it. So keep having fun with it, and you'll see a lot of stuff go forward. If you have any other questions, send me an email or message me on TikTok, and I'll point you in the direction of a couple of channels that I think help me a great deal. So help pay for my bills. Yep. The chickens will help pay for my bill. Jerry, awesome, my friend. Thank you very much. Cement for the footing, because I love it. I love it. Video titles are huge. Video titles. I get people, Russell yells at me all the time from Raspberry Rock Off Grid. Your thumbnail, your video title. Sean, you're in Alaska. It's winter. Talk about you died last month. But be sincere. And I think all that other stuff is a learning curve, and it will all happen for you. Look at channels that you like and take a little bit from each one of them to create who you want to be. That's the key, I think. Henry Leslie, Vermont, thanks for joining me, my friend. It's glad to have you here. Glad you could make it for even the amount of time that you're here today. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Rich says, tried numerous times with hybrid seeds and never had a successful second crop. They grow irregular at best. Yeah, and I don't know if they don't get everything from A and B to make either one. Now, mind you, somebody had to figure out how to make those cross-pollinate in the first place to grow them. But I'm not a big hybrid seed guy. I never have been. With tomatoes, I buy all my tomato seed when I buy tomato seed from a website called Tomato Fest, tomatofest.com, because the selection they have is just incredible. They're out of California, and Gary and his wife, when I've sent them questions on the website, he has emailed me back personally, which is just incredible. But I'm not in the market for tomatoes yet. I have to have some protection to get them to grow properly in Alaska. $2.24. Oh, crazy. Right? Yeah, I hate that. When you're in grass, Don't do anything that's going to create sparks, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. Actually, David, the sun is closest to the earth in the winter. I always thought the sun was closer to the earth in the summer too, but it's closer to the earth in the winter. But the reason why it gets colder is because the earth is actually, the axis is tipped. So in the summer, it's not as close, but the axis is tipped in the other direction because the earth doesn't just spin, it wobbles. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah. Oh, very cool. That is neat. See, I'm learning something here too. Very cool. Uh, right? Yeah, exactly. Right? It's the community build and the friendships that we make is the awesome thing about it. Yeah. So Stacy, who's also got a great channel, Cabin Dweller, and you never know when you watch Stacy's videos what you're going to see. Well, I should say you actually never know what part of Stacy she's going to injure herself on in that video. Matter of fact, in her latest spoon carving thing I saw on TikTok, she actually had to put on there, "I did not hurt myself this time." Um, but great channel, check her out definitely. And Stacy, you're a mod on here, or you should be. I can't tell on this screen because I've had you as a mod since day one. Share your link. Definitely share your link. Too many subs would suck. I like knowing my own subscribers. And could you imagine, like, I think the most number of people I've had in the live chat was like 50, I don't know, 57 or 58. And I only do this once a week. And obviously, I'm not going to do it through the building season. I'll try and jump in occasionally. And it can be difficult for me to keep up with the chat at that point. Can you imagine? I go to lives where where there's 3,000 people in the live chat, and a million people asking the person on my end, all these questions, and probably getting angry because they can't get an answer. But in reality, there's no way that I could keep up with 3,000 people in the comment section. So I really enjoy the fact that I'm small enough, I'm big enough to make it fun every week, although it was fun before, but I'm small enough to be able to keep in touch with everybody and answer every single comment that I get. I think that's super huge. It is. Community is a very amazing thing. Exactly, right? It's much more personable to be, or much more difficult to be personable with thousands of people. You can, though. I mean, there's some channels that I watch, Wild, Wonderful, Off Grid. I love their channel. I don't watch it as much as I used to because, again, I'm creating more video now, so I have less time to watch. But every video I watch of theirs is fun. I watched Simple Living Alaska's latest video yesterday or this morning. I always enjoy their videos, and I've messaged them or sent them emails before, and they've answered me back, which is super cool. I see your exact point, Rich, but at the same time, there are channels out there that really make an effort to stay in touch with everybody. David knows all 10 of his subscribers quite well. Yeah, Scotty, exactly. His channel's for fun, not for income. And if you want to go the income route, then hey, more power to you, and there's ways to do that. Um, but you're still going to have to learn the basics. So just have fun learning the basics. Put a lot of content out on a regular basis, and people will come back and watch you again and again. Drops. Exactly. A UV greenhouse would work, so would a high tunnel. That's a project for not this year, but in the works. Definitely in the works. Yep. And you'd be treading to get YouTube to promote a channel. Exactly. Exactly. Really quick, folks. Declan, if your sister's not there with you, then you're going to have to play this for her again so that she can see it. But to Lorelei and to Declan, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lorelei and Declan. Happy birthday to you. Lorelei just turned 11, and I know you just became a teenager, Declan. Very awesome. You're an incredible young man, and I am glad to have you as a follower of the channel and be a friend of your family. %23.5% tilted. Okay, I knew that was something. Scrolling. Yes, the earth wobbles, gives us good days and bad days. And that's my excuse when I trip in the yard. It wasn't me, the earth wobbled. I know, right? It's crazy when you can't keep up with the comments. And when you stop, like I just did, and then you catch up, you hope that you don't miss what somebody said. That's why I always say, if I missed what you said, you guys do me a favor and definitely ask it again. Yes, she does. She's got a really sweet. She's got a beautiful layout at her place. Her place is nice. Madhunanda, glad you can make it from Los Angeles, California. Awesome to have you here again. Yeah, live streaming for an hour. I did I think I did a Christmas Day. I think Christmas Day when I went live because I live by myself and I thought it might be fun for other people to join somebody else by themselves. I went live on Christmas Day. I think it was like 3 hours, and I couldn't talk right for 2 days because obviously I like to talk, but my voice got a little hoarse on that one. Yep, there's Wild Wonderful's Off Grid's channel, Simple Living Alaska channel. Kathy's got both of those linked for you guys. And if you don't feel you have to write these links down, I save the chat with when I set this stream up, I set it up so that the chat will play at the same time when you're watching it again. So you could just scroll through and find it again. So when you find me talking about Simple Living Alaska and Wild Wonderful Off Grid, look over to the chat bar and those links will be there. Should be there. Let me know if they're not, but they should be there. And they're easy enough to find. And that's why I make sure that the chat replay is set so it'll work with the live stream when you watch it. Yeah, I'm the same way. So some live chats. So I'll watch some live chats that are really big, and they'll have an average of say 1.2 or 1.3 thousand people in the chat, and I'm thinking of one channel in particular. And while that creator is answering the few questions that they can actually answer, the side chat, which is what you guys are doing over here on the side of the screen, has a bunch of information, which is really cool. And you see the same familiar faces in different live chats if you're following a certain thing. So there's a lot of information you can pick up on the side chat. So I'm not necessarily there to listen to the creator at that point. I'm there for the side chat to chit chat and ask some questions of people that are already in there that are better at stuff than I am. And there's a lot of them out there. Trust me. Hike with Mike. Glad you can make it, my friend. Awesome to have you there. This is true. If their channel is their main work, it's easier for them to spend time answering, etc. We all have jobs. I have a job. I work full time. Kathy has a job. So we're, I guess, part-time YouTubers. But still, and I'm going to speak for Kathy here. She goes out of her way to answer every question that she gets as well. I guess it's a level of commitment, and I don't think you're going to be around you're not going to do this for a couple of years without actually having that level of commitment to the people who actually watch you. Right? Dave just started up his. It's been a lot of fun. And it should be. If it's not fun, don't do it. And Fisa, Far North Home and Fisa, glad to see you. You got to be loving the weather too, right? There we go. Scrolling through. Yeah. Okay, Declan just saw that. Cool. And no, he sings poorly. He doesn't sing too. He sings poorly. I've known those kids and their mom for years, and it's just awesome to see the great human beings they are becoming. Just awesome people. Destiny Fitzgerald, glad to see you. I don't know about that humble part. Well, I am humble. I don't know about the helpful part. See, Rich, I'm kind of thinking I might do something like that if I get nuts enough to actually put tomatoes in the ground this year. I'm thinking I'll put a small high tunnel over the tomatoes that I do. And that's the only way that I could get away with it. Oh, see? And there's their mom. Very cool. Jolie, glad you could make it. Awesome to see you. Barefoot and AK, very good to see you. How many eggs am I getting every day? So right now, the chickens are roughly laying an egg a day, and I have 9 chickens. So I'm getting 9 a day. So some days I'll get 8, some days I'll get 10. I've had a day or two where I got 11. So I don't know what overachiever chicken that is, but let me show you. This is pretty cool. Because Basically, the way I stack the eggs over there is oldest is always on the bottom. But I got a monster egg today. I mean, that is, I've got decent sized hands. That's bigger than a jumbo egg. The chickens are laying roughly extra large to jumbo or bigger, um, and they're doing fantastic. So 9 a day is what I'm getting for the eggs. Yeah, right. Sean at North Shore Preparedness goes live. Like I said, I was with him last Monday. Goes live a couple of times a week, and his chats are always, they may get 100 to 125 people in there, but they're a ton of fun, and they're just a blast. Scrolling through. Oh, you had a full-time job till you get laid off in February. Ouch, ouch. Yeah, they used to have that feature where I could see a channel's name on the side and I could right click it and just subscribe to it. It was awesome because then I could go back afterwards and find them. Um, and then YouTube changed it because too many people were subscribing to too many people. Yes, I agree. Seriously, reviving weather. It's awesome. Sun is amazing. It's fantastic. Grace Martin, glad you could make it. Awesome to see you here today. That's the word I was looking for, Drops. Thank you very much. Yes, my eventual plans for the garden will be pretty much all heirloom crops, and I will be saving my own seeds at a certain point where I'll just rejuvenate my garden myself and I won't have to buy seeds. The only seeds I'll be buying after that point will be new items for the garden, new products, new things that I'm going to carry in it. But yeah, that's my general plan as well. Double yoker, I don't, I've had a couple of double yokers, but I don't know. Sometimes they just lay big eggs with monster yolks inside too. Yeah, yeah, lots and lots of eggs. I looked into a rocket mass heater for the cabin originally, and I thought they were a pretty cool design. Um, but I thought they took up too much space in the house itself. Now for the greenhouse, it'll be completely different. I might do something in the greenhouse like that, but I won't do a rocket mass um, for the cabin itself. Maybe a future project down the road, I'll do something like that because I like the idea that the top of it always stayed warm, so you could actually use it like a bed or a couch. It was very, very cool. Deborah Starling, good you can make it. Oh, nice. I didn't know they brought that back for moderators. That is very cool. Makes it easier to share links that way, too. I love it. Very nice. Playwork Productions. Just logged in. Can't wait to be there in 2 weeks. Stakes are on you. Sounds like a plan, man. Sounds like a plan. I had 13 hens, was getting 5 to 7 eggs a day. Some days, nothing. So gave them away. So with chickens, too, depending on their age. So my chickens just turned 1 year old. So right now I'm getting about 100% of their production. That will drop continuously. And I guess at 4 years, I can expect about 60% production. So at 4 years, we can expect the entire flock will be replaced because I'm not going to feed something that isn't earning its keep at that point. They're not pets. So, it could have been an age issue with your chickens too. I don't know how old they were. That's a mutant egg, David. Am I getting a rooster anytime soon? I thought about it, but I'm not going to get it this year. I'm going to skip it this year. I want to get the new birds incorporated into the flock and see how that goes before I bring in a rooster. And then when I bring in a rooster, I have to figure out, I have to check out my friends at Hickory Croft Farms and how they regulate the roosters with the hens so that they don't interbreed type of deal. So you keep the rooster for so long and then move it out, bring another one in so that this group doesn't become brothers with, you know what I mean? I don't know that much about chickens yet, so we'll have to find out what happens. Eventually, though. Yeah, you know what? Compost will heat because as it breaks down, it generates heat. Um, but I don't. We get to a certain point here where we can't really plant anything anyway until we get to that sweet spot of temperature, even if you've got a high tunnel. And once you get to that point, you don't have to worry again, right? Because if anything, you have to worry about it getting too hot inside of there. JD, he finds this 6 foot tall rooster. I don't know if he was a Tractor Supply or whatever. It's all made out of metal. And he sends me a picture and he goes, I got to figure out how to ship it to you. Troy Sutton, greetings from Bluefield, West Virginia. Very cool. Just bought a camper on your family fishing camp. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Rich, I haven't been up there in a while. I might take a trip up that way this year. We'll see what happens. I'd like to get up and do the state fair. There's a couple of bands I wouldn't mind seeing in concert. But I would like to go through the state fair just so I can maybe do a video of the size of the produce there, because I think it'll really blow people's minds. But if I do, definitely I'll let some folks know that I'm headed up there. You'll be one of them. We're eating 10-month-old eggs still, water glass. Exactly, right? Yeah, they're so easy to store. They're so easy to store. The food bucket filled with eggs. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, rooster will be on the menu really quick. Okay, David Gnomesteader is making videos on rocket mass heaters. I'll have to check them out. I'll definitely have to check it out. I want to let the snow melt down a bit more, and I would kind of like to do that on a 3-day weekend, Dave, because I get the skid steer for an extra day on that weekend if I do it that way. So if I rent it on Friday, it's not due back until Monday, unless it's a 3-day weekend, then I get to keep it till Tuesday. And there's a couple of other people that want some stuff done with it out here too. So it would be nice to maybe grow in together so it doesn't cost me as much and do all of that work in one big weekend. So I could probably do it now, but it would be a lot easier if I did it when the snow was a little bit more gone and the ground was a little more thawed out. Nice. Friend gave you a dozen eggs, incubated them, just hatched, need genetics. Very cool. Very cool. Shoot, this is flown by. This is nuts. And I went to all the trouble of like drawing this up so I could show you guys a rough idea of the plans for the cabin. So here, let me scoot forward here and I'll point it out because I always get questions on this. So let me show you kind of the rough outline. It looks a little more serious than rough, right? Of the cabin. Because I had to pencil it out. I need to get that final build together, the final list together for lumber. So looking at the cabin, I've described it a million times. This is the front of the cabin right here. I'm going to have a door right in the middle. And then I've got, get over here, do it this way. Over here, I've got a window and a window. And these will both be fixed windows. Neither one of these will open. I've got a door going in right here. And this door may not actually be installed, but it'll be framed for a door eventually to go out onto the deck. And then from that point forward to the extra bedroom that's going to be out over here down the road. I've got another window here, and this is the kitchen area. I've got a pantry area right here. And I've got the bathroom. Where's my finger going? Right there. Okay, so the bathroom and the pantry are 6 feet wide each by 7.5 feet deep. And then the kitchen is completely open. This will be the staircase going upstairs to the loft. So imagine this line right here is the loft from here back. And underneath the staircase, I'm going to frame the whole staircase in. Underneath the staircase will be where all the electrical is going to be. So my batteries, my charge controller, my inverters, and everything will be underneath the staircase, where it will stay relatively warm by itself. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. This is kind of like the finalized plans of what I'm expecting to do with the cabin this year. Right? Yeah. Well, okay. So where I'm from in California, and I was born in the town of Pacifica, just south of there is Half Moon Bay, and they have a huge pumpkin festival there every year. But I think the Alaska pumpkin has the world's record. But we had big pumpkins down there, but nothing like they grow up here. Crazy, crazy. I'm planning on doing that myself. I was going to try it this year, but I've got too much. I can't bite off any more than I've got. I got too much to do this year, so we'll worry about doing that, I think, next year. We'll do something. Am I going to build my cabin by myself? Most of it, yes. I have quite a few friends who volunteered to jump in and give me a hand. Actually, I've had a couple of viewers to the channel that are going to be up this way that have offered help as well. But I would really like to do most of it myself. It's been a passion of mine to do this since I was a kid, to build my own home. But there are parts that I can't do by myself. I can't raise an entire wall by myself. I might be able to figure out a way to do, maybe, what do they call the chain link, where you pull on it. And so I might be able to figure out a way to do it with come-alongs and stuff like that. But there are certain parts, like when I'm putting the ridge pole up and when I'm putting the rafters in for the roof, that I'm not going to be able to do by myself. But most of it, yes. And then obviously I'll finish everything myself. The inside I'll do all myself, and I'll customize the whole thing out exactly how I want it to be. Yep, exactly. Bedroom in the loft. It'll be the warmest house that there is, or the warmest room in the house in the winter. Yes, solar panels and wood heat, but also propane heat for backup. And it'll be a full propane heater built into the wall. I'll just set the thermostat at like 58. And then when I'm at work during the day in the cold part of the year, it'll just make sure when the fire dies down that the house isn't freezing when I walk in. I'm kind of looking forward to that personally. Yeah, right? 2,051 pounds for a pumpkin. That's a huge pumpkin. That's crazy. Navy Dave, glad you can make it, my friend. That's all right, right? You're never late, right? You arrive when you need to. David, thanks, man. And I'll probably have to head over and watch Stacy's video too. Cozy Quarter Cabin, glad you can make it. Awesome. You know what? I have never heard, seen, had no idea about Bigfoot at all. When I was a kid growing up in California, we talked about it in the woods and everything all the time. Other than the pictures on the internet, I've never seen anything that would convince me that that animal existed. And if it existed in Alaska, pretty sure somebody up here would have already got one. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a disbeliever, but that one would have to be proved to me. Yeah, I'm not going to heat with solar. That would not work. And then winter, it would definitely not work. Right. Great seeing you guys too. Awesome that you could pop in. I definitely got to get over and get caught up on you guys because you've been churning out a ton of videos. Again, folks, great channel, Countryside Acres. You definitely have to check them out if you have not done so before. Oh, yeah. Well, so there's a plan for that too, Drops. So yeah, definitely the full-size oven in the house will mean Sean can get back into full cooking and baking mode again. But I'm planning on one of my projects for next year, hoping that everything finishes this year the way it's supposed to, of building a Tuscan wood-fired oven outside. Because then I can make pizza in a wood-fired oven. And trust me, I know how to do that. So yeah, definitely, there will be definitely great pizza available and great bread available here eventually. Okay, I didn't know that. There's stories of Bigfoot. Stories of Sasquatch, which is also the other name for Bigfoot, around McCarthy Road out by Chitina. The native elders talk to them. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, work begins with finishing out inside, right? Exactly. Work itself is awesome. Monday through Friday, weekends off. Tomorrow's a short day, so I'll be done at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we'll have good weather. So yeah, work is fantastic. I'm definitely satisfied. Lindsay, what's happening, my friend? Glad you can make it. Awesome to see you here. Right, an outside oven would be fantastic. You want to build an outside oven as well? Gary Alwyn, glad you can join us. Thank you for popping in. I'm a huge fan. I worked at a restaurant where we had a wood-fired oven, and I made pizza in that thing. And you want to talk about, you have to have a different kind of dough for it, mind you. It's a dough that is going to cook up properly and quick. But a full-size pizza in that thing, you spin it a couple of times while it's in there, out of the oven in 6 minutes. Just incredible. 500-degree heat. And for baking bread, oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. But I want to do a prime rib in one, right? In a nice hotel pan, slow roast a prime rib for Christmas in that wood-fired oven in the middle of winter. Oh, that would be delicious. But been busy. Yeah, exactly. We all get busy, right? Angie, awesome. Good to see you. Saw my live chat with North and noticed his clock didn't move a minute. No, it doesn't. That's his doomsday clock. He's just too lazy to put a battery in it. But no, it actually is his doomsday clock. So he will adjust the time when he thinks it's getting bad closer to midnight, and then he'll back it off when he thinks things are getting a little bit more mellow. Right? Permanently set at, or perpetually set at 18 seconds to midnight right there. See that? I'm glad you're good, Lindsay. Very cool. Plans to work on my long driveway. Hopefully by May 1st. Going to cost a couple of bucks. How long is my driveway and what did it cost you? I hired a local guy and I paid him $1,000 to bulldoze it and clear it. And then I paid him $1,100 for the gravel. So it cost me $2,100, not counting the Typar. I bought the roll of Typar myself, rolled that thing out when he brought the gravel in. So basically, I guess my driveway cost me, the driveway, the pad, and the parking area, roughly $2,300 would be a good ballpark figure for it. And lengthwise, I don't know. I've never really measured it, but not as long as yours. Yours is longer. So, yeah, your expense will be a bit more, I think. And depending on where you're at, this guy was a great deal for bulldozer work for for $1,000. There was no way I was going to get anybody to do that. Yes, Karen, I have seen eagles, but the usual two I've only seen a couple of times this week because, as I said, when we get to this time of the year and they start to get even minimal fish in the river, they're starting to hit the rivers. So yeah, they're still fine though. They're still doing fantastic. Exactly right. Winter needs to end. A friend, a special wood stove built with pizza oven above it, very effective and great for baking. Yeah, you know what? They actually make a commercial version of that too. But I want that Tuscan wood. I want a wood-fired oven in the yard. I definitely want one in the yard, right? Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Brother Sean. As always, fun to have you here and hanging out. Folks, looks like we're winding down to the end here. We got about 25 seconds left. Mountain Mariner off grid. Glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. Driveway is $154 for 325 feet graveled. Just rub it in. Just rub it in, Charles. Really? 200-foot driveway cost about $2,500. Oh, that's nice. You get 6 feet. You get the maintenance gravel. That's very, very cool. I hope you got that on video, Mountain Mariner. I hope you got that on video, right? Hamburger, ham, and pineapple burger. Very cool. All right, folks. Our hour is up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on Sunday afternoon. I have greatly enjoyed it, and I really look forward to this every week. I hope you do as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care, and we'll talk to you later.